on Tuesday, the 24th of June. The meeting is being recorded and will be uploaded to Bill Town Council YouTube page. The aim of decision making should be transparent in the public domain, which will involve more community and local democracy. By being in this council chamber, you consent to be recorded and your images to be added to YouTube. The images and sound may be used for training purposes. Any views expressed are the speaker's own and not necessarily a reflection of Bill Town Council. Please review guidance on recording and public meeting policy if you need more information. Thank you. Moving on. First on the agenda is apologies and approval of substitute members. We have a substitute member this evening. If you accept that, that's Councillor John Redfern, substituting for Councillor Dave Hall, who can't be here this evening. Is everybody in favour of going ahead with that? Yeah. Have we got any apologies off any other councillors?
We have Councillor Smith, Councillor Brady, and Councillor Salt is hoping to be with us, but when she phones, she's still at work, so she's making her way back.
Okay. 18, declarations of interest, disclosable pecuniary interests, and any other interests. If anything crops up as the meeting moves on, please declare it at that point. I know it's not easy to think at sometimes with the big meeting that we have this evening. Number 19, swear I get it right now, to confirm the minutes of the Finance Strategy Management Committee meeting held on the 27th of May, 2025. Is approved in council on the 10th of June.
I did.
Councillor Redfern, second Councillor Jones, all in favour? Thank you. So they were moved in council, they were anyway. Number 20A, approve the bank reconciliation for April 2025, all accounts attached. So it's several pages.
It's just one page.
2 and 2.
A equals B.
Oh, that's HB, so yeah. A and B. Any questions or queries on that? Any of that?
Maybe check.
Councillor Jones, seconded by.
Oh, I'll do that then.
Councillor Harper, all in favour? Thank you. 20B, do the sum of the receipts and payments to date attached. That one. The one was 7.
Yeah, so if I may, Chair, there's not a lot on here, obviously, because we're only at this point. We've been really having reconciled April, so that's where we're at.
Clear with everybody? Any questions or comments? So, propose then to
I'll move it.
moves. Harper. Favour? Yeah. 21A, confirm the outgoing and internal control meeting completed on the 5th of June. Report attached. This was done by Councillor Hawley. We normally have Councillor Eardley as well. I think he was engaged at that time on something else, but thank you for everything you do anyway, Councillor Eardley. Time to browse through anything that comes to light. I know you went to this one, Councillor, but anything that you've noticed that
There's nothing outstanding. There's a few comments you can see at the end. Nothing to acceptance.
yeah, thank you
There's a few tweaks.
very much. Propose that. Redfern. Councillor Hart seconded. All in favour? Yeah. 22. Chairman approach the allocation.
You need to do B, so
Oh,
you need to just do B.
the external, sorry, confirm that external audit report.
Yeah, so
Well,
we just need to minute, if it's all right, Chair, that the period of elector rights start tomorrow.
that's why I missed it. 'Cause
Yeah, there's no attached.
No
piece of
attached
paper, but
paper,
we
that's
need-
why I got
we
it,
have-
that's why I
Yeah,
missed
we
it,
just
sorry.
have to confirm that in the minutes, the period. Election rights will start
Start tomorrow.
I am not-
Sorry, Rob.
What tinny?
I've had a busy day. Okay,
Thank you.
all in favour? 22. Chairman approach the allocation of councillor Yates's mayoral funds. On the 16th of June, the mayor, current mayor, Nigel Yates, myself and Kevin Jackson had a meeting to discuss how to distribute last year's mayor's funds. Do you want to come in on that now? I want to speak about it later and get back to grants, because it comes in there as well, doesn't
Well, can
it?
we look at this? Have a look at that.
Quite impressive on please.
I don't know whether Nigel.
Do you want to bring on our chief officer? then?
Say something or Nigel?
Thank you. Maybe that's on this one, you want to.
Shall we tag team? Would that be?
Yeah, you can.
Can I start and you chip in?
Yeah. You know,
Yeah,
the forms
that's
at
fine.
that meeting, if I can ask the chief officer and council Yates to tag team on
That's
this
fine.
one. Okay,
So,
yeah.
so since that meeting, we have confirmed that the final figure that's been allocated from councillor Yates's mayoral fund is a whopping £9,753.
Well done. Yeah. Well done,
So in that meeting, we considered an allocation to the Canals and Rivers Trust. And I just made contact with the gentleman there to move that forward. The group discussed the way to allocate that funding. And councillor Yates had wanted to have small pots of funding that could be allocated to groups that were sort of in addition to what they usually did. And he'll describe that much more eloquently than I do. But as councillor Rogers said, that there was an agreement there, and if you're happy with that, that's what we'd like to propose this evening, that the membership of that group be councillor Yates, councillor Rogers, councillor Jackson, councillor Lawton, and then if there are any applications that come in, this is a kind of draft application form and post, which we can make any tweaks that you think are necessary. That small group will then consider those allocations and then eventually report back to this group when that's agreed. There were a couple already that we thought, when people had kind of contacted us ad hoc, that we thought might be suitable for this. I don't know whether councillor Yates wants to say a bit more about.
Yes, if you don't mind, I mean, I've got this nice little introduction leaflet and application form myself, so to stay on track, so to speak. But the whole idea of the fund, well, it was described as a community openable fund. So it's to allow our many and varied community groups to do something different, to do something special, to actually have the ability to promote themselves. One of the things which I realised both in the years, both as a councillor, well, triply as a councillor, as deputy mayor and mayor, is that COVID and the isolation which that caused and the inability for community groups to meet had an awful long tail. And a lot of these community groups have struggled to sort of re-establish themselves. So I thought small amounts of money, allow them to have taster sessions, allow them to have an opportunity to promote themselves, which is what they don't generally have funds to do, would go an awful long way. It's helped them to showcase to the community, to the Biddulph residents and the wider area, what they actually do and what they're about. And it would allow them to encourage a new membership, and in some respects a new generation of membership, which I think a lot of our community would be keen to do and support. And then within that, looking at providing the opportunity over and above the normal funds which they have to actually go and run an event which actually brings that little bit of joy, that little bit of pleasure. Say it's a bus trip to somewhere, say it's a Christmas party, say it's a summer party for the group or for school children or whatever. Say to try to enhance an event which is going on to make it that extra little bit special, a little bit more memorable. And these are the types of pots of funding which generally aren't available at this moment in time. So it allows them to operate on that slightly little bit of a different level, and hopefully give them, as a consequence of drawing people in, that extra degree of sustainability as a group going forward.
Okay, Councillor Jones.
Thank you, Chair. If I may ask through you then, Chair. As far as I'm concerned, the Mayor's Fund is in the Mayor's gift. And as long as you're not spending it on foreign holidays and fast cars, you can spend it on anything you like. The only question I would ask is, and forgive me because I can't remember, what were your declared charities when you took office?
It was to support the Canals and Rivers Trust, because the principal fundraising event was to do the cycle ride to London to raise charity, and I was very conscious that the blue pathways, which they call are the principal traffic-free routes to get to London. So I leaned on their facilities and their infrastructure, and I was also very much aware that the Biddle Valley Way, from a sustainability point of view, links up with the Calder Canal to give you access to the city and whatever. I know Councillor Salt isn't here, but I do know many times Councillor Salt has used the Biddle Valley Way and the Calder Canal to actually cycle to a workplace, which is the college, Stoke College up there. I'm not using the proper name for it, but and I really want to encourage more people to do that. So certainly Canals and Rivers Trust, and the bulk of the funding which was raised was always for this post-COVID recovery over and above fund.
Okay, so
The community,
if I may, just to interrupt, I think as long as that was what you declared right at the outset, and people haven't been giving money on thinking it was going one place and going another, that was my only concern.
No.
So as far as I'm concerned, like I say, it's in your gift. Do what you like.
Thank you, Councillor Wood.
As long as you're not spending that on fast cars. Anyway.
Just in terms, obviously, it's called New and Now Fund, and it's a great idea for a one-off. Are we saying that, because a lot of organisations do multiple events, and you can always say every event is a one-off, it's a different from the next one. But are we saying it's just one per organisation per year, or are we saying you can apply for multiple venues, different activities?
I think it's fair to say, following on from what Councillor Jones has eloquently said, it's fair to say that if you're approached by, if there's an organisation that does an awful lot,
yeah,
and wants to run more than one event, and there's virtue to it, and it attracts, additional people, it allows them to showcase what they're doing, and allows them to build on the foundations for future sustainability. And I think that is absolutely fine and fine to consider.
Thank you, Councillor Harper.
Thank you, Chair. I haven't got much to say really, other than congratulations, Nigel. I think you worked your nuts off, and the community are going to get the benefit.
Not quite like that.
Oh, right. Well, yes, you know where I'm coming from.
Actually,
Well, I am on pills. And,
Just
again, yeah. So well done, Nigel. Yeah, massive example. Yeah, that's it. What you spend it on, I'll echo what John says. You get on with it.
Thank you.
I want something else, but I better shut me now.
And then later this evening, you will hear some of the projects you'd like to support anyway later this evening. Thank you. Anybody else?
Chair, just to sum up, as I said before, it's in the Mayor's gift. We don't have to debate it here or any other committee. If the Mayor wants to give a particular group 2 lots of money, that's in the Mayor's gift. As long as it was what he set out at the outset of his tenure, that this was the sort of thing he was going to do, then crack on and do it. And we shouldn't be saying, well, are you going to give them 1 or 2 or 3, or are you allowing people to apply twice? It's entirely up to the Mayor. It's in the Mayor's gift. It's the Mayor's charity.
Right. Yeah, Chief Osprey.
And I think really we put it on the agenda here just so that it's as transparent as it can be. And
I'm criticising.
No, I know. When we've gone through the process, we'll bring that back and you can have another look at what the money went on, but we wanted to be clear as well that there is a process, and it won't just be on a whim.
That's fair enough.
This is just to prove what we're doing or what former mayor wants to do anyway. Okay?
I'll just move that we approve the approach.
Seconded. All in favour? Thank you. So we'll discuss in more in depth later this evening anyway. Right. 23A. We reviewed community engagement statements. So that's this 7 red highlighted on this. That's dates and a few other tweaks.
Yeah.
Nothing major. Everybody okay with that? You want me to go through it? Or? Councillor Jones?
Yeah, just on the bottom of page 3, there's the thing that says members of the council as representatives on outside bodies. I think maybe that's implying that councils have to do it. The word may, just pop in there, may act. So I'll tell you about that. Don't have to.
3.4.
Yeah. Same thing.
Proposing that yet? Proposing that change. Secondly, perhaps councillor Redfern. All in favour of that? Yeah.
Agreed with the.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
There you go. Moving on to B, social media, press and publication communications. There's actually 10 on this one, to be heard, but that's the date. Quite a few other little tweaks here and there. I'll scan through that. That's Redfern.
Comment really, can I say how pleased I am to see the robust position the council's taking, particularly as regards abuse, which is, I'm afraid, becoming more and more common throughout, with people sometimes making absolutely groundless accusations about all sorts of things. So I think anything we can do to protect ourselves from that is to be welcomed. I think there is, generally speaking, I don't know what it is, but when you hear of ambulance people, firefighters being assaulted, abused, for doing their job, you just wonder where it's all going to end. So anything we can do to make our policies robust in that sphere is to be welcomed.
Here for your comment. Thank you. We have a proposal that we accept this policy. Okay. All in favour? Thank you. Moving on to C. This one is just a note that it was happening in September, basically. Chief Officer.
Yeah, as it says there, so we, after your approval at the last meeting, we have an emerging modern slavery policy. So we've been doing some work on that. That will then have an impact on the e-commerce policy, the procurement and approved suppliers policy, and the child and adult protection policy. So they were due for review now or next, in the next couple of months. We'll bring all of those to you in September, so that we don't have to then go redo them again.
Okay. Councillor Jackson.
Just a quick comment, is modern slavery classed when you're doing work, no pay? That's the case. No, you're all declaring it.
Okay, that's your information for you anyway. Thanks. Okay.
Yes, perfect, thank you.
Very good. Moving on then. 24. On A, to approach to be, well, this is personal training on 24.
Well, yeah,
The gist of it is, if you got anything, skills, outside skills, you could bring toward this forward, isn't it? That's the gist of it.
yeah, so you'll be aware, obviously, because it's on the bottom of everything we ever produce, that we are a gold council, local council award scheme gold, and we have to put in for that again next year. We want to be gold again. So we've started to look and make sure our policies and our processes are as robust as they can be. And one of the things they asked us about when we put in for it before was training. And so we keep all staff, Ange keeps a marvelous spreadsheet of all of our training, so that's quite a big list. But we were just conscious that councillors through work or through other activities do lots of other training, and it might be beneficial to kind of record those as transferable in terms of the work that you do here at the town council. You know, sometimes you might sit on small as district council training session. Well, actually that impacts on your work at the town as well. So we wondered whether it would be possible, whether you would support us with that in recording training that you do elsewhere, so that when we kind of need to evidence that people have completed training, that we've got a more robust list than we currently have.
Councillor Jones?
Yeah. Good idea, but the only thing I'm slightly concerned about is, just because you're trained doesn't make you a trainer. And I know particularly with medical stuff, first aid, that type of thing, I could show you how to do stuff, but you would not be trained because I am not a trainer. So I'm just cautious of that people aren't going around thinking, I'm trained on this because Wayne Rogers told me how to do it, I'll fix a telly or whatever. And it's not the case.
No, it's just a matter of recording.
Recording the skills. Oh,
It's not asking you to then train others to do it. It's just having a record of
Okay.
up-to-date training that you've.
I can hang a spoon on my nose. I could teach somebody how to do that.
I think that was.
Very
A
helpful.
certificate as well, if you like.
Put him on the stage. Councillor Jackson?
Yeah, I think obviously changes in personnel, you know, fresh people are coming, bringing fresh skills, different eyes to things. And also it could perhaps show where we may be deficient as a council, where we perhaps need some either extra training or when we co-opting somebody, we're actually co-opting might just tick off one or two of the boxes where we might be a little bit short of experience, you know, within the council.
Okay, any other comments?
If you're happy with that then, Chair, then we'll send an email out just to say, there's no medal in it. We just quite like to record some training if you've done sessions elsewhere. Or actually, I keep pinging these SPCA things out to you. If you find that you look at those and think, actually, there's nothing here I'm interested in, let me know what you are interested in. We'll find you a training course if that's what you think you want to do. And so, or we'll come up with something.
Movie.
Thank you.
For information, Chair, there's loads of LGA courses online, free courses, just for members.
There's a lot of online work.
Which, can make use of.
Oh, thanks for that. Yeah. So that covers all 24 in basis, doesn't
I
it?
just want to say a bit more on B, if that's.
Okay then. All right, on B then, to consider completing the council skills board and support training needs. Chief Officer, please.
This is linked. We talked about this quite a while ago. I have an idea for those who are new here. We probably talked about this pre-COVID actually, and then it just didn't got waylaid with other activities. The idea behind doing a skills audit would be similar to the conversation that we've just had, that we kind of identify what we as a council potentially need in terms of additional skills, whether that's something that we then develop for ourselves. But we've also talked before about developing kind of internal training schemes, which is absolutely possible. We can do that, we can get people in. But I think as Councillor Jackson said, it's helpful to know as we move forward and potentially there's a new world for us with local government reorganisation, it helps us to know that we are a more strategic thinking council and that we've got those, got the relevant skills in order to make those decisions. There's some big changes coming, I think. And so it will help us to be prepared for that and to make sure that you all here have any support to do that you need, or as Councillor Jackson says, that people coming in have those skills as well, which should be useful. So there are some audit documents that are rattling around, but if you were happy that we looked at doing a skills audit again, then this could be something that we would put together over summer, give it a bit more thought time, and then bring that back to you for consideration in September.
Yeah. We ask you could go ahead on that, please.
Yeah, do you want to do everybody happy with that?
Yeah, all in favour of that? Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for that. All right, number 25A, consider proposal any assets. I don't think there's any at the moment, as I've
No.
cropped up.
No, we're all good, thank you.
Okay. So 25B, that's this handout that you've had tonight, part of it, first part of it. Approved supplies and part of procurement policy.
You brought these in, where are
I brought them on there, pick up on the way in.
they? Okay, fine, so it's, what the document I put forward there is just all your quotes for consideration later on, but the first bit on there is there are two new organisations that will go onto our approved providers list as part of our procurement policy. So Lifestyle Designs, obviously a provider of windows. We've received the relevant documents. They are looking at the moment at increasing their public liability insurance, but that's the figure they've got there. And then with an additional funeral director to go on the books. And again, we've had that information to support that application. So we bring those two for you.
Yeah. Councillor Jones?
Yeah, I'll just move that we take them on board as a supplier. I mean, I've only seen the work that they've done. That see, really quite interest. I had some windows off from myself a couple of years back. They're very good. I've seen the work they've done at the visitor centre, and it's good stuff. So you know, if they ticked all the boxes, then I would move that we add them to the list. And obviously, on below, well, liars.
Okay. Opposed then? Any councillor Hart in favour? Yeah. Five B. Yeah. Oh, thank you. That actually concludes the public section of this evening's meeting. So thank you, YouTubers, yet again for watching us. I'm afraid we're going into the confidential section now. We'll catch you again. Thank you, councillors. We'll have a short break and we'll get back to you. Yeah.